Are you a doctor, dentist, or another healthcare professional with a private practice? Perhaps you're already doing well through word of mouth and a loyal client base. But what if I told you there is a way to amplify your reach, serve your existing patients better, and build trust with new prospective patients before they even meet you? All this without spending any money on ads. Stick around, because in this video I'm going to explain why YouTube is an absolute game changer for growing private practice. I will also share some actionable tips to help you start with your YouTube strategy that attracts new patients, nurtures your existing patients, positions you as an expert, and saves you time and money. I'm Dr. Eve, and on this channel I help healthcare professionals like you expand their reach and impact through YouTube. Now you may be thinking, but my private practice is already doing quite well. Why bother with YouTube? The thing is, any business, including yours, needs visibility, and YouTube is one of the most powerful ways to get discovered by patients and gain that visibility organically. YouTube is still relatively untapped in healthcare, especially here in the UK. Very few clinicians are using it effectively, if at all. By adopting YouTube early, you will not only start building the trust with the patients and positioning yourself as an expert, you will also be ahead of the game, ahead of the competition. And visibility through YouTube can help you build a powerful medical brand. Here is a channel by Dr. Vanita Rattan, who started posting regularly only 4 years ago. She's a dermatologist, and she spotted a gap in the market and decided to position herself as the skin of color expert.
So let's rewind 4 years ago during COVID, when I started from zero. Just like all of us, there was no magic wand, no celeb shout outs. I started a niche. Skincare for skin of color. That niche didn't exist, and shockingly still doesn't. I didn't just want to talk about basic skincare like everyone else. I wanted to solve common problems, debunk myths, and get talking about real issues that affected my skin of color family.
And look how her YouTube channel is doing. But let me reassure you, as a clinician, your strategy and your goal is not vanity metrics. You're not going to be chasing views or subscribers. What you are going to be doing is creating educational and informational content for your patients, which can be found 24/7 by existing and prospective patients from any location, without relying on expensive and temporary ads. And the best part, YouTube content works for you around the clock for free while you are asleep, attracting new patients way after you hit publish. Now let's dive in and explore why YouTube is such a powerhouse for growing private practice. Here are some striking statistics. An average person spends 62 minutes a day browsing YouTube content, and a big chunk of that content is healthcare related. In 2023, 4.5 billion health-related views came from the UK alone, which was a 35% year-on-year increase. But here's the catch. Most health-related content on social media doesn't actually come from medically qualified healthcare professionals. Worryingly, your average person doesn't actually prioritize healthcare content created by a licensed medical professional compared to influencers and non-medically qualified creators. So your patients are making important health-related decisions based on, at best, questionable information. And here's an opportunity for you. YouTube is the second largest search engine after Google. YouTube is owned by Google, and therefore any health-related search results will also bring in content from YouTube when somebody is searching on Google. YouTube is like the biggest TV channel in the world, bigger than Netflix. And this means that your video content could potentially reach people anywhere, anytime, for free. YouTube does provide the longevity where your videos could be found many years after they were originally uploaded. When you compare that to platforms like Instagram, where less than 10% of your followers will even get exposed to your content before it disappears into the void, YouTube provides the staying power. When optimized properly, your videos could still be found many years after the original upload. While Google ads, Facebook ads, and Instagram ads will finish once your marketing budget runs out, YouTube keeps bringing new leads while you're still asleep. This is organic growth at its finest. Now, why is all this so important? And it's important because trust is the most important thing in healthcare. Patients today are actively researching their healthcare providers online. And they're no longer making their decisions based purely on credentials and qualifications. What they're thinking is, can I trust this doctor? Can this doctor help me solve my problem? And will I like this doctor? And the best way to address these concerns before a patient even walks through your door is through video. You see, people don't just want to be sure that you can help them. They want to be sure that they will be comfortable with you, with your approach, with your communication style. So show them your personality, your communication style, and your approach through video. Get your patients or prospective patients get a real feel of who you are as a person rather than just a clinician. In fact, this need for human connection between a patient and their private clinician was highlighted in last year's report by the Private Healthcare Information Network. If you're interested in reading more from that report, I will leave a link in the description below. So YouTube enables you not only to showcase your expertise as a clinician, but also to show your human side. And that's exactly what patients want and need. And then by the time the patient makes an appointment and comes to see you in clinic, it will make them feel like they already know you. Now, here's what makes YouTube even more valuable for a healthcare creator that hopefully you will become. YouTube Health now prioritizes video content from licensed healthcare professionals like you. That's right, YouTube is actively looking for credible healthcare providers to offer helpful and accurate healthcare information, and it rewards you for that. As a licensed clinician, you will have the opportunity to stand out in search results for free as long as you create educational and trustworthy content. As you can see, there are multiple benefits of YouTube for healthcare creators like you. It is by far the most innovative long-term strategy for private practice growth today. Now let's look into some practical and actionable ways that you can start using YouTube for private practice marketing from today. Start creating educational content for your ideal patients and your ideal niche. The goal isn't just attracting any patients. It's about attracting the right patients who you feel you will be serving best. Not sure where to start? Repurpose your frequently asked questions content. You might already have blogs or FAQs on your website in written format. You can now convert them into video content featured on your YouTube channel, and some of the videos you can embed on your website. If you're not already keeping track of frequently asked questions in your clinic, start writing them down after every consultation and ask your support staff to also note down what the patients are asking them outside of your clinic room. Then you can create short, engaging, informative videos to address those concerns and questions. Patients retain 90% of information when they watch a video compared to just 10% when they read it in a written information guide. Here is an example of how a dental practice called Dental Boutique Melbourne is utilizing frequently asked questions for their successful YouTube channel, which is bringing them new leads every day.
How will I look at the end of my treatment? Now, this is a really important question that you should be asking yourself all the time when you see someone, because when you do any cosmetic work, it's permanent and you can't reverse back the process once it's been done. So the key thing is to actually get a trial smile. So before you even go ahead with signing off and saying, yes, sign me up for porcelain veneers or dental bonding or anything that's going to do cosmetic, be sure that you're able to actually see what the teeth will look like on your hands and sometimes physically in your mouth as well. So you then evaluate your size, the shape, the length, the width of your teeth. Get input from your friends and family in terms of your smile as well, because they might give you an opinion or an angle that you may not actually see. So it's very important to get a physical design on your teeth so that before you start, you know exactly what it looks like. These are the top 3 questions that I've been asked, and I'm certain that if you're into cosmetic dentistry, these questions might have crept up in your mind over and over again. So if you know someone who actually has got an intention to do any cosmetic work at all, feel free to share this video with them, because this might help them relieve their anxiety or get them to actually research and ask better questions to their professional, because the more information you have, the better equipped you are in making a right decision for your smile.
Number 3 is to focus on debunking myths and misconceptions. Every medical field has misinformation, especially out there on social media. Use your YouTube channel to debunk those myths and clarify common misunderstandings as the expert in your field. Here is a good example of how Dr. Sam Bunting does that.
Please be careful where you get your information from and be highly skeptical of home remedies for acne. Bear in mind that acne is an inflammatory skin disorder that takes months frequently to improve and get better, and it requires a similarly diligent and persistent approach with your skincare. So I was looking on Pinterest today. I saw in no particular order strawberry and honey as a mask. I saw apple cider vinegar as an option. I saw oatmeal as an option. I saw papaya. I saw someone recommending grinding up orange peel into a paste and a pestle and mortar and applying that. I mean, I saw garlic being applied. All of these natural things are potentially irritant, messy, and extremely unlikely to get you any significant control, because to get control, even with pharmaceutical grade products that we use in the office, it takes diligent use for at least 6 to 8 weeks. So there is no way on earth that an egg white mask is going to achieve that for you. There is nothing that's scientifically proven in there. All you're doing is putting a proper plan in place. I'm sorry to be the bearer of bad news, but it's just not going to work. So skip over that information.
Number 4 is engage your current patients. Use your YouTube channel as a resource hub and a library of information for your existing patients. For example, after a certain procedure, send them links to videos that explain what happens after the procedure and what to look out for. Send them links to videos about chronic conditions after they've had a consultation and were given a diagnosis about, say, diabetes. And videos where frequently asked questions are explained could also nurture your current patient base. Some clinics also feature video testimonials from real patients, although you have to take great care in terms of medical legal considerations, and this is something that I will cover in greater depth in one of my future videos. Final tip is about creating evergreen content for your YouTube library, where you should aim for about 80% of your video content to be educational and informational, addressing frequently asked questions, talking about the typical conditions that you treat, and giving overall health tips. The remaining 20% of your video content could be behind the scenes aspects of running your practice, for example, clinic tours, team introductions, and the new technology that you're proud of that your clinic has. Here is a good example of how a board-certified gynecologist based in the US is doing a tour of her medical center on her YouTube channel.
Hi, I'm Dr. Susan, and welcome to the new Complete Midlife Wellness Center. Come on in and let's take a look. When you first come into our office, you'll see our beautiful waiting room. You're not going to get to spend a lot of time here because we don't want you to wait. So come on back and let's take a look. And the first room that we come to is our procedure room. So let's take a look inside. Inside our procedure room, we've got several of my favorite toys. We have our Cutera laser, which is designed to treat vaginal dryness as well as decreased sensation that can happen with age. It also gives a little bit of tone. This is where one of my nurse practitioners, Holly or Brandy, might talk to you here. Let's come and see what a regular exam room looks like. If you were having a wellness experience, having a pap smear, or even having a pellet placed, you might be in a room like this. So it's a pretty normal gynecologic exam room, but we try to make it look a little bit more comfortable. We've got warm blankets. We've got a beautiful view of downtown. This might be where you have your pap smear, your general exam. So coming a little further down the hall, this is where you might see me working on a regular day. I like to stand up and do my typing. And then our beautiful bar cart here. If you'd like a glass of wine or champagne, we have that for you. And if you're having your blood drawn, we have a lab here 5 days a week. We do all of our blood in-house to save you an extra trip.
And the best part, you don't even have to post content regularly. You don't have to do weekly postings because you're not a YouTube influencer. You don't need to be. You can create an initial library of evergreen content around key topics and leave them there on your channel. When optimized for search, YouTube will ensure they're generating views months and even years afterwards. So if you're a clinician looking to grow your private practice, YouTube is not just an option. It's the best platform for visibility and patient trust. Unlike social media posts and reels that tend to disappear very quickly and ads that disappear after the marketing budget runs out, YouTube videos will work 24/7, bringing in the right patients to your clinic months after months, year after year. If YouTube feels overwhelming and you're not sure where to start, that's completely normal. The how-to was covered in my next video, which you can watch after this one, 5 steps to start a medical YouTube channel as a beginner healthcare creator. As a former doctor myself, I can totally understand the challenges of balancing patient care with marketing. I offer support and tailored guidance for clinicians looking to maximize your presence on YouTube. If you're still not sure where to begin, drop me a message. I'll be very happy to help. Additionally, check out my website videognostics.com and subscribe to the YouTube Practice newsletter. I will pin the links in the comments below. And remember, the best time to get on YouTube was probably about 5 years ago. The second best time is now. Let's get you discovered, seen, and booked by your ideal patients. And I will see you in the next video. Bye for now.